can we bring them back home? 169,000 po yan. Lahat na siguro ng barko natin, pati mga kumpit, mga lancha, balsa, dalhin na natin, pero hindi pa rin natin siguro kakayanin yung 180,000 na yan.
Wala namang barko, wala namang pera. Mahina kayo, dapat humingi kayo kagad.
There is no more respect, ika nga. We have to respect the one China policy. Tama po. At sumusunod tayo sa gusto nila. Alright. The problem now is, paano naman tayo? Paano naman po si Eddie? Tinatrato na parang langgam at kayang-kayang apak-apakan lang po tayo. There is no more respect, ika nga. While we respect what they want, while we don't want to interfere in their affairs between China and Taiwan, but what about our position? As neighbors, na they can just trample, they can just come into our territory and interfere with our affairs. Siguro, Madam Chair, sa akin lang po ha, I mean, this does not reflect the opinion of the committee. Rather, it's a personal opinion. I think it's high time that we think our position if we must continue to observe this one China policy. Because of the fact na hindi naman po ginagalang tayo while we respect what they want. You understand where I'm coming from, Madam Secretary. While we respect what they want. One China policy kami ito, huwag kayong makialam. But what about us? What about our rights? Our rights at the West Philippine Sea. They can come in and out and wala tayong say. To the point that our personnel, our Coast Guard and Navy personnel being harassed, our fishermen driven away back to our shores. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but on my opinion, Madam Secretary, we really have to think of this position. I mean, yes, the United States is observing this one China policy. Hindi naman sila po binubuli. Tayo po nabubuli. And come to think of it, that's our neighbor. So we respect what they want, pero what we want is that they get out of the West Philippine Sea. They don't respect that, Madam Chair. So I want to hear your opinion on this, Madam Secretary.
Chair?
Yes, you're recognized, please.
Thank you very much for that statement, that opinion, that personal statement of yours, Senator Tulfo. I guess the situation is such, but as far as the Department of Foreign Affairs is concerned, we have certain mechanisms that we have been employing from the start in dealing with.
Pero sorry to interrupt, Secretary Lazaro, pero yung ating mga note verbal at yung sangkatutak na protesta, umabot na yata ng 300 mahigit. Ilan na ba? Ano ba ang running count natin? Napakarami. Wala na ma-epekto.
Yeah.
Parang nakakahiya, dinedetma.
Ang problema, Madam Chair, is that it's also important na yung mga protests na yon form part of the documentation in case whatever happens. And this was what was used during the arbitral proceedings at The Hague. But going back to the question of Senator.
But do we have any other effective means of...
That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, obviously, well, we can keep sending those note verbal. We can call for the ambassador. We can protest in the United Nations, in the ASEAN, and so on. But to no real effect. Things are just being exacerbated by all these efforts, apparently angering the Chinese even further. So wala rin epekto.
But as I was starting to state, we have a mechanism. We have so many mechanisms, and it works in different sectors. We have the bilateral consultative mechanism of the South China Sea. This is at the level of the foreign ministry, and it may seem that it is doesn't have that much impact, but yes, it does. Just to cite an example, the discussions on the Ayungin Shoal, the Second Thomas Shoal. If you notice, Senator Tulfo, from the time of June 17, 2024, a finger of one of the
Oh, yes,
soldiers was
that's right. He
cut off.
came over here in this
Yes.
committee.
And the Department of Foreign Affairs, together with our Chinese colleagues, came up with a provisional arrangement. This provisional arrangement is in consonance also with the UNCLOS, and that it stated there. So since then, the RORE, we call it the rotation and reprovisioning of necessities, wala hong incident, if you
Oo,
notice, from
tahimik na mula nung
from
naputol
20,
yung
June
daliri
17,
ni Facundo,
exactly,
ano?
yes, until the present time. In fact,
So
nakasyam na
anong
RORE na eh.
kasunduan doon? Kahit papaano may kasunduan.
May kasunduan talaga
So
without
titimbre
prejudice.
lang kayo. Di ba yung dating kasunduan
Yes.
all these years? Ang mangyayari doon, titimbre kayo.
Yeah, information lang.
Titimbre sila
Information
na
exchange.
information lang, di ba?
Exchange, right.
Sasabihin, okay, maghahatid
Oo.
kami ng pagkain, tubig at iba pa.
Right.
Parang ganon. At
And-
magpapalit ng tauhan.
Madam Chair, the most important aspect of this provisional arrangement is it is not no prejudice to our official positions.
Madam Chair, makasingit lamang po. Maganda po yung sinasabi ho ninyo. But recently, have you seen the photos? Have you seen reports from our Philippine Coast Guard and Philippine Navy? Hindi na po Coast Guard, hindi na po Chinese Coast Guard. It's the People's Liberation Army Navy na po ang nagbabantay. And then, meron po sila mga rubber boats na meron pong mounted machine guns. It is, hindi na po Coast Guard eh. It is already Chinese Navy watching. No more. Nung magbanggaan po sila, if you would remember, ma'am, a couple of weeks ago, I think last week lang, no, nagbanggaan yung Chinese Navy at saka Coast Guard, nagalit sila. So, nagpadala na sila ng PLN na mga Navy. So, when you say PLN, they're armed. Tapos, nagpadala pa sila on the rubber boats, iniikot-ikutan yung BRP Sierra Madre. I mean, this is something. I mean, mas lalong, yung kanilang, what they're doing, yung kanilang claim sa West Philippine Sea, parang they've already occupied it. And then what we're doing is diplomacy. It's like bringing a pen to a gunfight. And then diplomacy without deterrence is weakness, Madam Secretary, Madam Chair. So this is what we were saying na we keep on observing one China policy at para wag natin tratuhin bilang ibang bansa ang Taiwan because sa kanila yon. But the point is, pero bakit tayo patuloy po na binabastos ng ating kapitbahay? Is there any tangible leverage we have over China, or are we just allowing ourselves to be bullied in the name of diplomacy? That's the question, Madam Secretary.
Madam Chair, again, Senator Tulfo, what you are describing are the operational part. As far as the Department of Foreign Affairs is concerned, we still adhere to what the President said, that this dispute should be governed by diplomacy and dialogue. So that's where we differ from our security agencies, who I think is doing a fantastic job in taking care of our waters. But we cannot. We still are of the view and strongly state that diplomacy has still an important role in this issue. It may not be immediate, but diplomacy definitely has a very important role.
Pero
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary and Senator Tulfo. I think the issues in the West Philippine Sea, including the RORE and other claims, should be discussed in another meeting. Mabalik lang sa Taiwan, because I do believe that the issue of the West Philippine Sea deserves another hearing. Malaking bagay to, pati yung Taiwan Straits, napakalapit po. Kung may Palawan, yung Taiwan Straits po napakalapit sa Ilocos. Kaya talagang, kumbaga, personal to sa amin. Kaya, palagay ko, magka-hearing tayo tungkol sa West Philippine Sea at isama natin yung DND. Kasi sa ngayon, wala rito yung DND, wala rin yung Coast Guard. Kinakailangan narito sila. Kaya balikan na muna natin, kung maaari lamang, yung issue ng Taiwan. Kasi yun ang mainit at narito pa rin yata sila. Narito pa ba, Chelo, yung mga delegasyon?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yung pinag-iinitan nila, yung Lin Chalung, nandito pa ba yun? Hanggang kailan ba sila?
Until 30, sa 30.
Isang buwan?
And then 30, ma'am. Today is the 28th, the 30th, Friday.
Yes, Senator Padilla, please.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Meron lang po akong gustong liwanagin na aming mahal na kalihim. Yun lamang pong sinabi po ng ating mahal na Pangulo, yung pong kanyang nasabi sa India, yun po ay patungkol lamang doon sa ating mga OFW po ba? Yun lamang po, ano, kaya siya nakapagsalita po ng ganun.
Opo.
Yun, gusto ko lamang pong linawin.
Yes,
Opo.
Mr.
Dahil,
Senator.
dahil sa mga Pilipino doon. Pag
Dalawa
nadam-
yung
opo.
kanyang points na ni-raise The proximity, yung kalapitan natin dito sa Taiwan at almost 200,000 Filipinos na kailangan nating isipin.
Meron na po kanina nabanggit po ng ating Madam Chair na meron na raw po ba kayong naisip na paraan kung para sila ay kung halimbawa po nagkaroon ng kaguluhan, sila po ay maibalik kaagad dito sa Pilipinas. Meron na po tayong ganung plano.
Your
Ang dami-dami po nun, 180,000 paano nga iuwi lahat
Actually,
yan?
Madam Chair, Senator Padilla, you'll be surprised, but we have been talking since early this year for a contingency plan. Meron po, of course, kasama po namin ang mga security agencies. Hindi namin magagawa yan. Pero meron po.
napakarami, wala naman tayong ganyang kadaming barko.
Pero meron talagang marami din silang alam na paraan at nagtulungan lang kami.
Nakakatuwa nga, minsan may nag-alok, nagmamagandang loob yung mga Amerikano na sila daw mag-uwi. Sabi ko, naku, wag naman, baka banatan yan. Mas lalo madidisgrasya yung mga yan. Yun nga, yun ang question ko. I'm also concerned because there are so many, at talagang saan pupunta yan? Halimbawa, hindi na kaya ng Batanes, Cagayan, Ilocos Norte, hindi namin kaya 180,000, kaliliit na probinsya.
Your Honor, kung pwede po masasagot po namin yan, pero pwede po bang sa executive session?
All right, so ang point is, despite our doubts, you are confident that you have a plan in place?
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can we ask the Department of Migrant Workers here, their position on this? Is there like a plan, a grand plan to evacuate? Yung sinasabi ni Madam Chair na 180,000.
Parang ganun eh.
Saan natin
Ilan ba talaga? Ilan na ba ngayon?
Yeah, yung figures nyo, ilan ho talaga ang Pilipino ho doon sa Taiwan? Okay.
Good morning po, Madam Chair and
Yes,
members of the Honorable
Is that
Committee.
Director Padaen? Or Yusek Olalia? Sino sasagot po?
Either po, kahit
Sige po, si Yusek na lang. I would defer to my boss.
sige po. Tama po kayo, Madam Senator and Senator Tulfo, no? Marami po tayong mga kababayang nagtatrabaho sa Taiwan. 169,000 plus po ang ating documented OFWs, no? Karamihan po doon, 84% are factory workers. And this is by virtue of an agreement that was executed between the Department of Labor before, sometime in 1999, and the Ministry of Labor in Taiwan po, no? At may mga caretakers din po tayo doon at patuloy po tayo nagpapadala base po doon sa agreement po natin.
Meron po tayo. Hindi lang siguro nyo mai-discuss dito. Pero are you sure na yung plano ho ninyo will be sufficient na just in case, wag naman hari nawa, wag naman ho mangyari, nagkagulo ho yan at nagkagera dyan, maiuwi ho ba natin sa isang iglap or it will take days? Kung days lang ho kung titignan mo sa liit ho ng Taiwan, Diyos ko po, baka sa loob lang ng 5 oras, 8 oras, nadurog na ho yung bansa na yan. So yun ang position natin. Ang tanong po namin, how can we bring them back home? 169,000 po yan. Lahat na siguro ng barko natin, pati mga kumpit, mga lancha, balsa, dalhin na natin, pero hindi pa rin natin siguro kakayanin yung 180,000 na yan, Madam Chair.
Yeah, tulad po ng sinabi ng ating magiting po na secretary, no, meron po tayong contingency plan and we can discuss the details in executive session po, no. We can activate this at any point in time whenever there is an urgency to repatriate yung ating pong mga Pilipinong nagtatrabaho po doon, no? So meron po kaming crisis management team at ito po ay in place na. There's a structure that we'll just have to follow. Yung alert level crisis po natin, nandyan po tayo at
Teka,
handang-handa po tayo.
Ayokong pumasok sa detalya. Ang gusto ko lang malaman, sapat ba, sinasabi nyo, may plano, sapat ba yung barko? May bilang kayo ng barko, na-name na ninyo yung mga private, commercial vessels, pati yung Navy, ilan lang ng barko, Coast Guard, ang liliit. May bilang na kayo ng mga barko? O eroplano? May pondong nakalaan para rito? Malaki-laking lipatan to. Sangkatutak na bakwit to. Hindi biro-biro. Ilan lang ang naglipat nung Marawi siege nung umpisa, hirap na sa tabi pa lamang. Ang hirap ng bakwit, promise.
Madam Chair.
Secretary Lazaro po. Ayan?
I think sabi po ni DMW meron pong pondo. Pangalawa ho is that hindi naman
Teka. Umiiling si Yusek Olalia. Wala raw silang pondo.
Ma'am, there is an allocation.
Ang alam ko, walang pondo. Saan yung pondo? Ang liit ng pondo ng department po
Okay.
ninyo.
Ang OWA po ay meron pong tinatawag na emergency repatriation fund.
Magkano?
Opo. Hindi ko lang po alam yung
Ang
exact
alam ko,
figures.
20,
And then sa DMW po, meron din po kaming action fund.
hindi, kasi may 20 million lamang ang DFA. Magkano yung sa inyo?
Sa action fund po, 1.2 po yung for 2025 and then may
1.2
continuing budget pa po kami na mahigit
1.2
billion po.
billion for repatriation specific.
Kasama po ang repatriation expense sa action fund ng DMW.
Pero lahat-lahat na yon, sakop na yung mga rescue, pagsasagip, yung mga legal and medical problems, di ba kasama lahat doon?
Opo.
Kaya nga, bali todo yun, halos lahat ng MOE ninyo yun eh. So, I think hindi sapat. Hindi, kasi papasok kami sa budget time. Dapat maglaan ng pondo para rito, hindi ba klaro? Secretary Lazaro. Mahina kayo, dapat humingi kayo kagad. Andito mga senador.
Totoo po yun, Madam Chair. Kaya lang po siguro, kaya nga contingency. Meron kaming contingency fund. Meron silang pera. Meron din po kaming for assistance to nationals, which is quite, of course, tama yung sinabi nyo, sa pangkalahatan yun. However, yung contingency plan naman po is that's in partnership with our security agencies.
Naku, ilan lang ang barko ng Navy natin, pati Coast Guard, maawa ka.
And
Tama si Senator Tulfo, isang idlip lang baka ubus na
pero
ang Taiwan.
meron
Paano
din po
yan?
namang kasing kaya nga po gusto namin i-discuss ito sa sa executive session kasi
Hindi,
may-
itatanong ko lang,
Apo.
diretso lang to. Is it an option? Palibasa, kinikilala pa rin natin ang One China policy. Hindi ba pwedeng pumunta sa Taiwan diretso at sabihin i-repatriate ang mga Pilipino? Magpatulong. Kasama ba yun? Nagtatrabaho sila dun nakikinabang sila sa hirap ng mga Pilipino doon. Dahil during the Iran-Iraq war, I was fully aware that my mother actually called Prime Minister Tariq Aziz and urged that the Filipinos be helped to come home. And they actually chartered an airplane or 2 airplanes to bring back the Filipinos. So, parang kabaliwan. Pero nangyayari talaga yan. Kung kaibigan natin ang Taiwan at nais nilang tumulong, abay tumulong sila. Or, kinakailangan ba dumaan sa Beijing? Kung One China at ang Beijing ang kinikilala natin, patulong kaya tayo sa Beijing, iuwi muna nila
Madam Chair,
bago magkagulo.
I defer to MECO Chair. Baka may
Hala, Beijing na ang pinag-uusapan.
kung Beijing ho, I mean
Ba't kung hindi magpatulong? Kung kinikilala natin, may diplomatic
We can-
ties, may One China policy, lahat binibigay natin. Tumulong naman silang ilabas yung mga Pilipino.
to that
Pwede ba yun?
question we can do that. Bakit naman
Pwede yun, ba't
Opo,
hindi, di
Pwede
ba?
ho, pwede ho. Because may mekanismo nga kami. And then this can be an issue for
At wala nang
discussion.
ibang nakakaalam kung kailan magkakagulo, kundi yung mga Amerikano at yung mga Chinese, di ba?
Correct.
So dapat sila yung tumulong.
Thank you for that because that can be one of
Medyo
our
kabaliwan, pero
agenda.
nangyari na kasi.
Yeah,
May experience
true.
kaming ganyan. At si Miss Maralit po, meron kayong maidadagdag tungkol sa Taiwan? Tutulong kaya sila na iuwi yung mga Pilipino? Kasi nagdududa ako na kukulangin tayo, mahihirapan tayo.
Ma'am, as per our may contingency plan po ang MECO. Currently
Ayun
ina-update
na nga, wala namang barko, wala namang pera.
wala nga lang nga po talagang budget na na-approve for that. Although may mechanism po na in place under the contingency plan to enable us to directly coordinate with the officials there para in case na magkaroon tayo ng need to evacuate.
Okay, ang problema ng Taiwan, hindi umiikot lamang sa mga OFW ng mga Pilipino doon. At pinoproblema ko pa rin itong One China policy and the statement, in fact, from the executive that the Philippines will inevitably get involved. Now, in what way will the Philippines get involved? Let's clarify, kasi will the Philippines be a party to that conflict? And it's undeniable that we are very, very close. I say that as an Ilocano, where Kaohsiung is 400 kilometers away from us, whereas Manila is 500 plus kilometers. We receive notice from them even before we get any help from Metro Manila. We share the same typhoons. We share the same section of two oceans. So, ang sasabihin ko, it's undeniable because of this geographical, physical location that we will somehow be dragged into the conflict. But the question arises that we have an MDT, Mutual Defense Treaty, with the United States. So it covers all armed attacks, as I understand it, on armed forces, public vessels, aircraft, territories, islands, and so on. And are we therefore saying, because of the MDT, if there is an armed conflict between China and the US over Taiwan, a vessel or an aircraft of the US is attacked while in the Pacific, hindi yun nagpapatrol, yun nangyari nung August, kundi talagang it is attacked in the Pacific, will this inevitably trigger the MDT, Article 5? Kasi napakaliwanag niyan. I'd like to inquire from any legal, the secretary from DFA. Is there a categorical answer?
Madam Chair,
Yes po.
your question is maybe rhetorical, it may be a possibility, but it is not automatic. My knowledge of FDT. There
Yes,
is a
please.
process that will
Yes.
be employed.
What's the process that you are referring to po?
One is a discussion between the two governments, the Philippines, of course, and the United States, and that will be on operational and ministerial levels. And of course, there is also the Congress, the congressional approval. So it is not as if we can just invoke. But I stand. This is the little knowledge that I have. Perhaps our experts. It must be the armed forces or the DND.
Yes, that's
will be in
right.
a better
Unfortunately, they didn't turn up, as the
Yes.
secretary is well aware. But it's quite alarming. We have several articles in the MDT that continue to bother all of us. As you know, there is no exception indicated here. The MDT will apply if either party, the Philippines or the US, gets involved, for example, in the internal matter of another country like China. And in the meantime, gets its ship, aircraft, or armed forces attacked. With the way the MDT is stated, there's no exception at all. As long as one of the parties, Philippines or US, is attacked in the Pacific, the MDT is automatically triggered. Ang liwanag eh. Kasi narito talaga, as long as the territorial integrity, political independence, or security is threatened by an external armed attack in the Pacific, paulit-ulit to eh. Di ba? An armed attack on the metropolitan territory, on island territories, armed forces, public vessels, aircraft. Damay na yung Pilipinas niyan. We are required to come to the assistance of the United States. Is that correct?
Madam Chair, I know that this issue of the invocation of the MDT is a subject of discussions of the two SNDs. I mean, the two secretaries of
Yes, it's a
National
very,
Defense.
very old treaty from the
Yes.
1950s, so
Uh-huh.
inevitably it
And
has to
I
change.
would really leave it to the better, the discussions and the process itself with the Department of National Defense, because
Yes,
they've been
but we
discussing this
haven't
issue.
made much progress. We have been urging the American embassy as well as the DFA to come out with annexes or perhaps a detailed explanation, some protocols, because this is so alarming.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is clearly Cold War language and cannot be read except in the context of the Cold War. Nevertheless, with what's happening and the escalating tensions in the Taiwan Straits, we can hardly be blamed for being alarmed.
Mhm.
So ano kayang magagawa? Kasi with the Philippines, on its face, on the reading of the MDT, di ba, the language of the treaty, will the Philippines be in breach of its treaty obligations under the MDT if we refuse to lend aid to the U.S. in case of conflict in Taiwan? Can we justify non-compliance to the MDT in the context of a conflict over Taiwan on the ground that it would violate what we recognize as our One China policy? Kung One China policy, dapat hindi ka makikigulo sa domestic affairs, di ba? Maliwanag yun. Pero dito sa MDT, kung tamaan yung kasangga mo, kailangan tulungan mo. Paano yun? Maiipit tayo sa gitna niyan. What are we going to do? I'm not clear.
Madam Chair,
On one hand, you have the MDT. On the other hand, you have the One China policy. Are we to understand that they're in direct opposition of each other? And how do we act?
Madam Chair, I'll be very frank and candid. I think this is an operational issue in nature, and I cannot really respond to exactly to your question because I know that
Because no one knows the answer.
because there were also
Patay.
discussions
No,
between
ma-
the two secretaries. of
I think, Madam Chair, it's high time that we have to review, this committee will have to review the Mutual Defense Treaty because sabi mo nga, it's been ages, panahon pa ng Cold War yung MDT na yan, na panahon pa yata ng tatay mo, correct me if I'm wrong.
Before pa,
See?
1951?
It's not,
52.
nung panahon ho na yun, hindi pa ganun masyado ka-tense yung situation ng between China and Taiwan. So we really have to review, Madam Chair. May I manifest that we have to probably in another meeting, we review this mutual defense treaty and invite the Defense Department and even the United States Embassy or their representative to look into this para ika nga sumunod at tumugon sa mga panahon ngayon. Yung treaty na yan, Madam Chair.
Yes, yun nga sinabi ni Secretary Lazaro, tama yun. Kasi maiipit tayo, di natin maalam kung ano gagawin. Okay, sinabi ni Secretary Lazaro, operational. O eto na, operational. Are we compelled under the MDT and the EDCA to allow the US to use the EDCA sites as forward operating bases or staging launching points for military intervention in Taiwan? Kasi there are allies under the MDT. Andyan na yung EDCA. Tumutulong sila sa atin. We have clearly a very clear defense treaty, di ba? An agreement of the EDCA. At nandyan na yung mga EDCA sites. Alam niyo, nagtatanong ako nito, hindi para pahirapan yung buhay natin, kundi naaalala ko po yung ama ko. Noong kasagsagan ng Vietnam War, malaking gulo yan sa Pilipinas dahil may Clark at Subic at gusto nilang gawin launching pad yung Pilipinas para bombahin yung Vietnam. Ayaw pumayag ng ama ko. Medyo roundabout ang nangyari. Refueling and refitting lamang ang hinayaan sa Clark at Subic. Pero no direct flights daw. Ito yung kasunduan. Ngayon, ganyan rin ang mangyayari ngayon. Dahil meron na tayong EDCA sites, hindi nga tinatawag na military bases, baka halos ganun na rin. So, anong mangyayari kapag ganyan?
Madam Chair, again,
I know that we really, really need someone from the Defense Department at this juncture, but since they failed to appear, I urge you to answer as best we can.
thank you, Madam Chair, to the best that I can. And I can say that EDCA was never contemplated as a forward operating base. It is actually an HADR.
Can you decode your alphabet, Sue?
Humanitarian assistance.
Humanitarian assistance and disaster relief or resilience site. It's always been HADR. In fact, the last discussion I had.
Ganon din ang nangyari nung Vietnam days eh.
Okay.
Ang nangyari doon, kung maalala ninyo, si General Tobias led the PhilCAG.
Uh-huh.
Yung PhilCAG, kasi sabi, may commitment daw ang Pilipinas magpadala ng sundalo. Eh, sabi ng ama ko, oo, papadala kami ng sundalo, kaya lang engineer, gagawin kami ng tulay, magpapadala kami ng medics,
Yeah.
sundalo din yun. Pero hindi lalaban, di hahawak, hindi magdadala ng baril. So, ang intindi natin, ang EDCA can only be used in the event of disaster relief, human assistance, ano pa yung isa, sorry?
Disaster relief.
Yeah,
Humanitarian
humanitarian assistance. Anong
HA
sabi ninyo?
HADR, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief.
Disaster relief.
Yes.
So, kapag walang disaster, like halimbawa ngayon, di ba, may Typhoon Kajiki ang Vietnam,
Mhm.
pwedeng gamitin yung EDCA. Nagtatanong ako, wala naman daw pinadala mula sa EDCA para tulungan ng Vietnam. May 20 ng patay. Hindi, tanong lang.
Well, another point to again,
Ilan rin yung patay nung nakaraang mga bagyo?
marami na po. Pero
Emong ilan. Wala naman tumulong galing EDCA.
kasi I think ang operational word na naman ho dito is that it should be the decision to use whatever aspects of EDCA should be mutually agreed also by the two governments.
So, so far, no humanitarian assistance and disaster relief has been undertaken by any of the EDCA sites. I imagine, kasi wala namang balita eh.
Actually, Madam Chair, I can only recall my discussion with Secretary Rex Gatchalian of DSWD. He said that he will, I don't know kung anong typhoon po iyon, pero sinasabi niya na I will pack up those sites para pagdating sa, I think he was thinking about north, way up in the north. I think
Wala pa eh, wala pa.
Hindi, matagal na pong typhoon to.
Yung
I think
pinesto lang nila doon, yung typhoon missiles. Wala namang humanitarian, walang gamot, walang pagkain.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I think
Senator
I
Tulfo.
think the Department of Foreign Affairs is not capable of answering all these questions
That's
because
right. No,
these are the questions for the Department of Defense.
I
I said-
agree, but
May I manifest or may I suggest, Madam Chair, that we invite in the next meeting the Department of Defense officials and the armed forces because I believe they're the proper authorities to answer our questions here. Otherwise, if they don't want, then we can send a subpoena to these officials. I'm sorry, Madam Chair, but I think, I mean, you said they were invited, they didn't come. I don't know, but they must have very good reasons. Otherwise, kung hindi pa rin po sila darating, then we have to, I believe, subpoena them, Madam Chair, because it's that we deserve to know how can we proceed. The secretary is having a hard time trying to answer these questions when it is not in her territory. It's only the Defense Department and the Armed Forces of the Philippines can answer all these questions, Madam Chair, na ito bang EDCA buhay na? May mga tao na ba dyan? Bakit hindi pa nakatulong sa relief, humanitarian efforts? So I guess, Madam Chair, may I suggest that we subpoena the officials of the Department of Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Madam Chair.